Have you ever wanted something so badly that it hurt deep in your chest? Something you cried for, prayed for, and begged God for, but nothing seemed to happen? That is exactly where Hannah found herself. And what she did next changed everything. But before we dive in, if you love powerful Bible stories that speak straight to your heart, hit that subscribe button and the bell icon so you never miss one. This story is one you want to share. Now, let's go back in time. Hannah was a woman who loved God with everything she had. She had a husband named Elkanah, a home, people who cared about her. But there was one thing missing, one thing that made her heart ache every single day. She had no children. In those days, having a child, especially a son, meant everything to a woman. It was her joy, her purpose, her place in society. And Hannah had none of that. Year after year, she waited. Year after year, nothing. And to make it worse, Elkanah had another wife. Her name was Peninnah, and Peninnah had children, many of them. Peninnah knew Hannah's weakness, and she used it. Every chance she got, she would taunt Hannah, remind her of what she did not have, poke at the one wound that never seemed to heal. The Bible says she provoked Hannah severely to make her miserable. Can you imagine that? Going home every day to someone who constantly reminds you of your pain? Hannah stopped eating. She wept bitterly. Even Elkanah's love could not fill the emptiness inside her. He would say, "Hannah, why are you crying? Am I not better to you than 10 sons?" He meant well, but some pain runs so deep, no human words can touch it. So Hannah did something brave, something raw, something real. She went to the house of God, and she prayed. Not a quiet, polite prayer, not a rehearsed, perfect-sounding prayer. She prayed with her whole broken heart, tears streaming down her face, lips moving but no sound coming out. Just her and God, pouring out every drop of her pain, her longing, her hope. She made a promise to God that day. She said, "Lord, if you remember me and give me a son, I will give him back to you. His whole life will be dedicated to your service." Now, the priest at the temple was watching her. His name was Eli, and he saw her lips moving with no words coming out. He assumed the worst. He actually thought she was drunk. He walked up to her and said, "How long will you keep acting like this? Stop drinking." Can you imagine? Coming to God in your most vulnerable moment and being misunderstood? But Hannah did not fight back. She did not walk away offended. She calmly explained herself. "I'm not drunk, sir. I am a woman in deep pain. I have been pouring out my heart before God." And when Eli heard that, something shifted. He looked at her and said, "Go in peace. May the God of Israel give you what you have asked of him." Hannah wiped her tears. She stood up. She ate. And the Bible says her face was no longer sad. She believed. Before anything had changed on the outside, something had changed on the inside. She trusted that God had heard her. And God did hear her. Not long after, Hannah became pregnant. She gave birth to a son, and she named him Samuel, which means heard by God, because she said, "I asked the Lord for him." She kept her promise. When Samuel was old enough, she brought him to the temple and placed him in the hands of Eli, just as she had vowed. She gave back to God the very gift she had begged him for, and God blessed her even more. She went on to have 5 more children. But the most powerful part of this story is not just that Hannah got what she prayed for. It is that Samuel grew up to become one of the greatest prophets in all of Israel. A man who anointed kings. A man who heard the voice of God clearly. A man who shaped a nation. All because one heartbroken woman refused to give up. She brought her pain to God and trusted him with the outcome. Here is what I want you to take away today. Your tears are not wasted. Your prayers are not lost. God sees you in your most painful moments, the ones nobody else understands, the ones you are too embarrassed to say out loud. He sees, he hears, he remembers. And like Hannah, your greatest breakthrough may begin not when things change around you, but when you choose to trust God before you see the answer. If this story touched your heart, share it with someone who needs to hear it today. And drop a comment below. Tell me, what is the one thing you are believing God for right now? I would love to pray along with you. See you in the next story.